Pirkei Avos teaches us that one of the 48 ways to acquire Torah is ohev es hatochachos, to love rebuke. Giving rebuke is a mitzvah d'oraisa. We learned this a few weeks ago in Parshas Kedoshim. Ocheach tochiach as amisecha. Mitzvah tochacha requires us to go to great lengths to save our fellow Jews from averos. In Erchin, Daf Tef Zayin Amud Beis, we learned that we must rebuke a person even to the point of being cursed or slapped in the face because of our rebuke. And the daf a few weeks ago, Shabbos Nun Daled Amud Beis, we learned that Rav Elazar ben Azariah was blamed for violating the halacha when he wasn't the one violating the halacha, but his neighbor was, and he didn't tell his neighbor to stop doing what his neighbor was doing. Now, this obligation does have important limitations. Public embarrassment, we learned this in Gemara and Sanhedrin, that's akin to murder. In the Rambam in Hilchos Deos, Bab Zayin, Bab Ches, he says that rebuke has to be done gently and respectfully, not just because of our fellow's dignity, but because soul-crushing musar is generally ineffective. So can we stand idly by as our fellow's neshama suffers? Well, maybe. Based on the Gemara and Shabbos that we're just learning, the Ramah says there's people in town, they don't realize that you have to start the fast of Yom Kippur before Shkia. Maybe it's better not say anything to them. Mutav shiyu shogegi. Better they sin blindly than know the law and sin willfully. So if that's the case, if we believe in mutav shiyu shogegi, should we just forget about Tochacha altogether? So Maggid Mishnah proposes a compromise. He says that Tochacha is appropriate in limited occasions. It's appropriate either where the Isser is just obvious, something that's explicit in the Torah. Alternatively, when it's something that maybe it's a derabanan or an implication, divrei sofrim, but it's something that everybody in the community does. So, if it's something that everybody's a little bit lax about, Tochacha is not appropriate. If it's something that you'd have to work really hard to figure out because it requires a bunch of diukim, Tochacha is not appropriate there. But for things where you really should know better, well, that's what Tochacha is designed for. So then, how do we do it? How do we do Tochacha? So let's look at two classic examples from Tanakh. According to Rashi, at the beginning of Devarim, Moshe chastised the people for all of our horrible misdeeds in the desert. Now, that's definitely not Pshat. Pshat, as far as I can tell, is Moshe gives a list of the places that we went to. We went here, we went there, we went to the other place. Now Moshe tells us, what he's really saying though is, hey, you remember when we were at Mara? Remember what y'all did at Mara? Remember when we were at Dei Zahav? Remember what y'all did at Dei Zahav? He lets us fill in the blanks. Nasan the prophet, a few generations later, did the exact same thing for David HaMelech. Now, there are many good apologetics out there, but you could easily get the impression that David was infatuated with some other man's wife, gazed at her on the rooftop, slept with her, and sent her husband to a certain death so that he could marry her. So what does Nasan do? Tells David a story. Tells a story about a king who stole something beloved from a powerless person, and he lets David fill in the blanks. So far, we've been speaking about giving Tochacha. But Oheves HaTochachos, that's really speaking about receiving Tochacha. Artfully crafted Tochacha, like the speeches of Moshe and Nasan, those require us to do the work ourselves. In a sense, actually all Talmud Torah has some aspect of Tochacha. Torah can often change our opinions of matters of hashkafa, sometimes even inform us of halachas that we are violating, and it's most effective when it's done in this artful and subtle way. Loving Tochacha is about developing a balance within teaching and studying Torah. Torah must always be genuine enough to confront us, and perhaps even enough to make us feel a bit uncomfortable. At the same time, the rebuke has to be subtle enough to force us to recognize and internalize our mistakes for ourselves. So as we prepare for Matan Torah, we should approach Torah with a new openness, a willingness to be wrong, maybe a little bit vulnerable. When we receive the Torah on Shavuos, we become an open scroll. By loving Tochacha, we allow the Torah to inscribe itself on our hearts. Everyone should have a wonderful Shavuos.